In this video, I'm going to show you a Zapier agent, which is going to act as a RevOps manager, first line of defense that's responding back to the sales or marketing team, especially for those shoulder taps if they're sending a message to you in Slack. So one thing you can do is I previously built a flow out of a different automation tool. It was an AI workflow, not an agentic workflow. The difference is that in an AI workflow, you're building logic, the if this, then that. It's quite rigid. If anything breaks down, you have to test everything along the way and then triage, and it's very hard to debug. With an agent, what you're doing is you're giving it a task and you're giving it tools, and then the agent decides a critical path of what to take on and then identify what the right response is going to be. So in this case, I have a channel called Ask RevOps, and let's say I'm a sales rep and I wanted to ask, what are our sales stages? So it would click, tell me about our sales stages. And then on the right, I'm using the new Zapier agent capability. You can see the prompt. I'll just go ahead and show it to you real quick. And you can see that I'm pretty much saying, hey, look, you're going to receive a message in the Ask RevOps channel. You're always going to do the following. You're going to receive the content of the message. You're going to analyze the content of the message. And then you're going to reply back in a formatted response as a reply to the original message. And I'm giving it these tools. And the neat thing about Zapier is I have these tool capabilities. And so you can see here that I'm giving it Slack channel capabilities, sending a message. I'm also giving it a database. In this case, it's a simple file. These are sales stages. And then you can see I also want to be able to create a table, create a record instead of a clay table. I also have a bit of a workaround here. I'm sending a webhook post to Zapier, to Clay, sorry. And then I have Clay sending another webhook back to Zapier, which is then creating a record in a Zapier table. And I'm using this agent to grab the data from Zapier table. I've also given it the capability to search through my HubSpot, find records in the contact company and deal objects, and then as well as update the deal contact and company objects. So let's say, for example, that I have some critical information after a call, want to update the record. So you can see I sent the reply, the Zapier agent sent a reply, tell me about our sales stages. And you can see that the bot came back with a response and it's telling me what the sales stages are and information about those stages. And then it's also giving me a link out to see the sales stages. Now I have another workflow here, which is a bit of a workaround. So let's say, for example, I need to enrich, I need to contact someone. So find the email, and I'll just use my name, and then it should run through the steps. Now, the cool thing is, I've been working on adding comments to make this cleaner. I was using an if this, then that format, but then again, I realized that that's no different from an AI workflow. What I need is something agentic. So here I'm giving it in comments. These are typical requests. You'll get a sales process request. So let's say, for example, you need to know what are your validation rules by stage? What fields need to be filled out? Where can I find information about our battle cards, etc. Here for contact enrichment, these are typical pieces of information you want. And then here I'm sending a webhook out from Zapier to Clay, then Clay webhook back to Zapier. It's creating the record in the Zapier table. And then I'm also teaching the agent how to search through the Zapier table. And you can see here, find the email and look at the reply. And there you go. It actually replied correctly with my email address. Then if the lead enrichment is successful, send a response back. I think this is a bit redundant. And then I also want to teach it how to find information in my CRM. So I'm giving it all these capabilities, all these tools in HubSpot. And then for all other inquiries, if it fails, I want it to ping me, and I'm using my Slack ID so that I receive a notification. And then it says, hey, you're escalating to Jeff for additional support. And then that's when you can use an agent to be a first line of defense to respond to these shoulder taps from the go-to-market organization. So hopefully that's a helpful tip. And I think that's pretty cool that I was able to build this in Zapier Agent in kind of a prompt-like format. Another thing that you want to look at is the activity. You can see the trail of what's happening and audit exactly where it's working. So that first one with the sales stages, you can see here that it's going to load. And then it walks you through its chain of thought. It's going through it. It's finding information in the document that I gave it, the database. I don't know why it's going through the web search, so now I need to figure where that's coming from. And then it has the response for the stale stages, and then it's sending me a message in Slack. For the other step for the search and keystone, for the email address, you can see it is sending a message via webhook. That's correct. It's searching for the information in Zapier tables. That's correct. And then it's also sending me a message back in Slack. Also correct. So here, click a thumbs up, give the bot feedback, and that should be hopefully great feedback for the Zapier team.